Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for a minute now, I've been telling you guys that I will get you my Invisalign process and things like that. So this video is finally me giving you the info, the 411, what you need to know. Okay? So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let me just say this. I actually did like my teeth prior to getting Invisalign. I think other people had more of a problem with my teeth than I did, if I'm honest. I had a minor gap and tiny spaces like in between my teeth that were barely noticeable. My gap was obviously more noticeable right in front, but even then, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. Honestly, funny story, I actually created my gap. When I was younger, I had almost perfect teeth, and I would like bite on the stem of like a lollipop and stuff like that. Like when I would suck on a lollipop, I would bite on it like with my front two teeth all the time. And after doing that for a while, you slowly but surely space out your front two teeth. So yes, I created a gap. My mother was very, very upset. But I never hated it. I didn't do it intentionally. I didn't think that I'm just a kid. It didn't make sense to me that, oh, you're biting on this, you're gonna create a gap. I didn't think about anything like that. So I didn't intentionally do it, but once it happened, I didn't care that it was there. And then as I grew up, I still never cared. I never had any major dentist problems. I do not have cavities, which that is one of my cherished, happy moments of life. Every time I go to the dentist and he's like, you still don't have any cavities. I'm like, thank you so much. But I also think that's because I do floss, I do brush my teeth, obviously, and I also don't eat a lot of sweets. So there's that. Or at least I don't just sit and munch on candy. Honestly, I'm a fat girl, so if I'm gonna waste my appetite on sweets, it needs to be like a pie or a cake or something good and fulfilling. So that's that. But sorry, if you see me look over, it's because I took notes. I want this to be as informative as possible. So that's why I kind of have like a whole breakdown of what I want to say. So what made me get Invisalign? I decided to get Invisalign because honestly, I think a part of it was hearing what other people had to say. So my mom always hated that I had a gap. Growing up, she would always say like, I want to get you braces, things like that. But we just never did it. And then like as I got older too, like and being an adult, people would say to me like, you have little baby teeth. And I would just get tired of hearing every little thing that, has to do with my teeth. So I think I decided to get them because I do have tiny teeth, like they're really small. I do think that they fit my face. However, they are kind of small and people point them out. So I think for me, I kind of thought, well, at least maybe if they're all together, it's like, well, they're small, but they're perfect. Like, does it matter? Oh, I'll insert a video also of how my teeth used to look compared to how they're looking now. So that was one of the main reasons why I think I got Invisalign, was just because my teeth are so small, I at least wanted them to be perfect in their smallness, I guess. I don't know. Not a very good reason, if I'm honest, because I did like my teeth before, but that's my truth. The other thing, so there are other types of teeth correcting things out there, such as like Smile Direct, and like a few other things that are out there. However, I personally went with Invisalign because that's through your orthodontist. You go and you do regular checkups, and I have something called TMJ, which is a jaw problem. The plates in my jaw here shifted. I don't know if it was forward or back. I don't remember. But they shifted. So sometimes when I open and close my mouth, it kind of like, it cracks. Like, not crack, but like it pops. And I can feel it. If you put your fingers here, you can feel it. So due to that, I just didn't really feel comfortable going with, you know, the random places where you don't actually have a orthodontist or anyone to kind of direct the process. So because of that, I think I know that was my main reason for going with Invisalign rather than any other thing. Now, cost. So it obviously varies per patient, you know, depending on how severe your situation is. Just to give you an idea, mine was a bit over so here's the disclaimer. This is actually my second round of trays. So initially mine was a little under $3,000, but because I had to do another set of trays, it ended up being a little over $3,000. So I had to pay for the extra 14 trays that I ended up getting, although it was way less expensive than, let's say, if I had to go through like another orthodontist, another everything. So yeah, also some, or at least my orthodontist in particular, allow you to either just pay up front, you can do a payment plan and things like that. For me, I'm already done paying, which is exciting. So when I'm done, I'm completely done. There's nothing else. They'll just keep checking me up every once in a while, I'm sure. But once I'm done, they'll give me my retainer, which in the price, you get basically everything. You get your box of trays. Then you also get another little box that comes with a case so that, you know, if you go to a restaurant or something, you can put your trays into that case. And it also comes with a cute little baggie. Sorry, I don't have my case or my baggie just because I didn't lose it, but I had moved and then I packed it up somewhere, and yeah. So you get all that, but then also you get little chewies, a bag of chewies, and these they're for multiple purposes. So one, you can use them for when you put the trays in your mouth. Once they're in there, you bite down just to make sure that they're all tight and nice and snug. And the other reason you can use this also is you are supposed to just, when you're doing nothing or when you're occupied, you are supposed to literally just bite on them. It kind of helps with the movement of your teeth and things like that, or at least that's what my orthodontist told me. I'll be honest, I don't really use my chewies that often. The only times I really do use them is when I put my trays in and they don't feel like they're all the way in there. So then I'll bite down just to make sure that they're nice and snug. So the next thing that I'm gonna make sure I hit on also is what you should know before you get Invisalign. There's a lot that you should know, if I'm honest. One, that you have to be disciplined. There's no way around it, honestly. You just have to be disciplined. Invisalign is so much work, and I think that's where I kind of was a little naive prior to, because I did do my research. However, I think I didn't think that, oh, it's not going to be that bad. However, it's a lot of work, especially for me. I turned 21 during my process of having my Invisalign trays. I think I started off when I was 21. I'm 22 now, so more of that story. Sorry. You can't drink anything other than water with your trays in your mouth. And you're supposed to keep your trays in your mouth for 23 hours of the 24-hour day. The only time that you're supposed to take them out of your mouth is when you eat or drink anything other than water. So imagine turning 21 and you're not supposed to eat or drink anything with these things in your mouth, but you're supposed to keep these in for 23 hours of the 24-hour day. That gives you 1 hour to free ball it. So you really do have to be structured, like, okay, well, I'll eat a snack at this time, I'll eat a snack at that time, I'll eat lunch and get my lunch done and devoured in 15 minutes. You really kind of have to structure yourself. However, I'll be honest, I wasn't as disciplined in that area. I think if I would go over a little bit over an hour a day, I wouldn't complain about it or show any type of concern about it. That hasn't affected me too much, but I think it's because I do keep them in for as long as I possibly can. That hasn't affected me too much. I would not recommend it, just because you want to make sure that you're on track when it comes to your treatment process. In my case, again, this is actually my second term, so to speak, of trays. So for most people, your aligners come 14 in a box. I am on number 12 at the moment, and I will actually be changing into 13 really, really soon. So I'm on 12 at the moment, and they come in, let me show you real quick. So they come in these little packages, and this is how I'm trying to just cover all the unnecessary stuff. So this is how they come. You get the 2 retainers, one for the top and the other for the bottom. And you get your whole set of 14. Now, in my case, originally, when I got my 14 trays the first time, I did great. I went through the whole process very smoothly. However, when I got to my 14th tray, you're supposed to wear that last one. They like cut it down, and then you're supposed to wear that last one for about a month and a half, for just, to allow your teeth time to, normalize and spread and all that good stuff that your orthodontist wants them to do. Honestly, I don't know. This is what he said. I don't even know what that means. But in that time, I was moving and I lost that tray, and they do recommend that if you lose the tray that you're on, to go back to the previous one, the one prior to that. I didn't think that was necessary because I was literally done. However, once I thought that I would have time to, because my next appointment was for me to go and get my retainers created. However, once this all happened, Corona happened. So my orthodontist actually closed for 2 months. So I was basically not wearing Invisalign or retainer or anything for about honestly, it was probably a little bit more than 2 months. It was probably maybe even 3 or 4. And because of that, my front gap started to open up again. So previously I was wearing my Invisalign trays for 2 weeks, and then I would change into the new tray. So I would change my trays every 2 weeks. This time around, because my teeth are already used to shifting, he told me I have to change them every week. So I wear 1 tray per week, and that's kind of how that goes. Now, because of that, let's go ahead and go right on to the hygiene. I can't think of the word, but I wrote it down. So the hygiene of it, because you wear these trays literally 23 hours of the day, you can imagine the smells that could happen if you're not brushing them and things like that. So your orthodontist does recommend for you to brush your teeth after you finish any meal. Make sure you floss, and change them after that 2 weeks, because So, and then also you're not supposed to drink anything other than water, due to the fact that it can stain your trays. So you do walk around with toothbrush, toothpaste, and what else do I walk around? So I have floss everywhere. Oh my goodness. If you know me, you will find floss in my car. You will find floss outside my house, just everywhere. Not gross. I've already used it. I do keep floss on me at all times, simply because you don't want to eat something and get something stuck in your teeth and then put your trays in. imagine the smell, imagine the bacteria, imagine just the grossness and disgustingness of that. It's disgusting. So you definitely want to make sure that you do that. However, I will be honest, I don't always brush my teeth right after. I do floss after I eat something, but I don't always brush my teeth after I eat something. However, what I do, because like when I'm at a restaurant or something, you don't always want to go to the bathroom at a restaurant and brush your teeth. Like, that's gross. Or just if you're in your car and you're eating real quick. Sorry, if you're in your car and you're eating real quick, you know, how do you have the time to brush your teeth? And they do have those like portable little toothbrushes that comes with the toothpaste in it. I don't know, I've just never really used that. So what my orthodontist did recommend for me was to at least rinse your mouth. At least rinse your mouth with water, Listerine, just anything like that will cleanse out a little bit. So that's one of the major things that I actually do is I'll just rinse my mouth if I don't have the time to brush after I've like eaten, if I'm driving. Or obviously I brush in the morning, I brush at night. But, you know, sometimes I do eat a fry or 10 in my car while I'm driving somewhere in between. But that is also a major thing. Like, you just want to make sure your hygiene when it comes to this is on point, because they do, I'm gonna be honest, like they do tend to like smell a little bit more. It's honestly, if you think about it, it's just because you have your saliva in something for an extended amount of time. So you have to keep up with brushing, rinsing. Honestly, sometimes I just take them out just to rinse them under hot water. Not hot because it's plastic, but warm water, even if I'm not brushing them in that moment. But obviously brush them in the morning, obviously brush them at night, and it's even that's not a word. It's even better to brush them in between meals and things like that. So that's a big one. Like hygiene, like you don't understand how disciplined you have to be when you have Invisalign. Like, it's hard. It's so hard. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it is something that you have to be conscious of. You genuinely do. Only because, like in my case, I don't have any cavities. And a surefire way to get cavities is to not floss or not brush your teeth when you have them encapsulated in something. Like, think about if you don't floss or you don't brush and there's something stuck in your tooth, but then you put your tray over it. You're literally making the bacteria grow in an area that is humidified, and it just ain't gonna be good. Let me say that. It ain't gonna be good. So there's that. The other thing is the pain. I think people think like, oh, well, I can just take them out, so it's like, it doesn't matter, like it's not gonna hurt that bad. Baby, they hurt like so bad. They hurt so bad. You will have moments where you feel like, I'm not putting this back in my mouth. I don't care. My teeth can be however they are. I will be okay with that. It's gonna happen. It has happened to me so many times where I've been like, I don't care anymore. Forget it. Forget the whole process. Or another thing that could happen is when you have your trays in, you might not even feel like taking them out to eat just because they hurt so bad. And the other thing, this compared to braces, at least I would think, braces are just in there. So the pain that's starving, it's there. Your trays, when you eat, like when you go to eat, you have to take them out. So when you take them out, it literally feels like you're pulling out your teeth. Like your teeth are so sore that it feels like you're pulling out your teeth. So at a certain point, you get to the point where you're just like, it ain't worth it. I'm not hungry. You either be like, I'm not hungry, or when you do take them out to eat, I'm not putting them back in. To get over that, it's like a mind over matter type of situation. You just gotta be like, I paid for it, I'm gonna do it. That really is what gets you through, if I'm honest. So honestly, if you don't have a good pain tolerance, I wouldn't recommend, because this is different from braces, where braces, you're just stuck. Like, you will get to a point where you don't care, and you're like, I'm not taking them out, or I'm not putting them back in, because it hurts. It really is that painful. There's been times where my head was hurting because my teeth were hurting so bad. And honestly, Tylenol PM or regular Tylenol will be your best friend. Like, whew, when I say your best friend, y'all gonna be like this, tight, 2 peas in the pod, homies, you feel? Because without it, might not make it. I'm just saying, don't be trying to bite in an apple, or just don't do it. Just soft foods also would help when you're going through that pain. And honestly, chewing on your chewies will help. I don't know why, but adding that extra pressure, it hurts, but at the same time, it releases the pain. So that's a huge part of it. Either way, I would recommend Invisalign just because I love how you cannot see them. A lot of people never notice that I have something in my mouth until at times when I have my lisp. There are certain things that I just cannot say without the lisp. So like saying lisp, like trying to get that, you know. And people who know me, like know me, have had conversations with me, and they're like, you sound different. Or when I take them out, when I'm like mid-eating or out to dinner with friends or something like that, they're like, huh, what changed? And I'm like, oh, I took out my Invisalign trays. That's the other thing. People will look at you crazy when you're taking them out and putting them in. Like, you have to, you know, going out to eat or going out for drinks or something like that, obviously you have to take them out. And people will be like, what's that? What's in your mouth? Like, that's gross. But honestly, I would say only do this if it's what you want to do. If it's your it's your prerogative to whether or not you want to have perfect teeth. Like, I wouldn't recommend getting it because of how everyone else feels. Because honestly, there's moments where I miss my gap. Like, if I'm honest, I kind of feel like my gap set me apart a little bit. And although it was so minute, it was so minor, so just tiny, I still felt, I don't know, I felt confident. Like, I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoy my teeth now. I love them. But, you know, there are moments where I miss my gap. So I wouldn't recommend doing this if it's not truly, genuinely what you want to do. It has to be because you want it. With anything that is changing a part of you, whether it's any type of cosmetic surgery, getting your teeth fixed, getting LASIK, because I've even thought about that. Do it because it's what you want to do, rather than, oh, I feel like people would like me more, or I feel like people would want me to. Like, just do it because it's what you want to do. And if it's not what you want to do, don't do it. But you'll save a hell of a lot of money. Okay? Okay? Because sometimes I be like, why did I spend that money? Like, I didn't dislike my gap. I could have saved some coin, invested in stock. I've invested in stock, but I could be like up here if I would have paid for that. But no, seriously. I honestly do love my trays now, so more so than before. I don't really have the pain as much as I used to have when I would change them. Also, I'll be done in like 2.5 months completely. I'm basically done. I will take out my trays and let you see how my teeth look without them in. I kind of don't want to do it on camera, so I'll just, we'll do this. That's how they look. Also, sorry, it's a little gross. My spit. But, yeah. That's how my teeth look without them. And you can see I do have my attachments on there. As you can see, I do have those little humps that are on my teeth are attachments. And that is for my trays. There's these little indents on here that when I put them back in my mouth, they attach. You can kind of hear it snap. And then just make sure they're all in there. Then you're good to go. So yeah, that's how my teeth look in about, I think 2.5 months. I have another appointment in 2 weeks. I will do a video in those 2 weeks to let you guys know my changes, you know, from that last appointment. And then after that last appointment, I will have another appointment where they will take off all of my attachments, file my teeth down, and then I have a dentist appointment around that time too, because, you know, orthodontist and dentist, 2 different people. And I will get my teeth whitened as well, because I'm sure there's a little discoloration from where like the attachments are compared to like the rest of my teeth. So once that gets filed down, I'm gonna get my teeth whitened, and then she has cute teeth. Okay, either way, I recommend Invisalign. It's exciting. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I will get back to y'all with the rest of the pretty teeth. All right, peace out.